Before this story ends, you will see how a Filipino janitor, mocked by strangers abroad, becomes the reason an entire city stands still. You will see how one ordinary night shift leads to a video that travels across countries. You will see how laughter turns into silence, how disrespect turns into regret, and how the same people who look down on him will be forced to look up to him. Stay with this story, because the ending is something no one expected. This story is inspired by true events. His name is Daniel, but for most people abroad, he was invisible. Every morning before the city woke up, Daniel was already working, mopping floors, cleaning hallways, emptying trash bins that people never thought about. He wore the same faded uniform every day, the kind of uniform that tells the world you are not important, the kind of uniform that makes people avoid eye contact. Daniel was Filipino, working abroad, far from home, far from family, far from everything familiar. Back home in the Philippines, he had parents growing older every year, a younger sister in school, and a promise he made before leaving: I will come back successful. I will make you proud. But abroad, life was not kind. People passed him like he did not exist. Some bumped into him without apology. Some laughed at his accent. Some whispered words they thought he could not understand. Janitor, cleaner, nothing more. Every night, Daniel worked the late shift when offices were empty, when laughter faded, when only the sound of his mop and footsteps remained. He liked the quiet. It reminded him of home. It reminded him of early mornings in the Philippines, when the world felt peaceful. But one night, everything changed. It was past midnight. Daniel was cleaning the lobby of a large building. A group of young men walked in, loud, confident, dressed in expensive clothes. They looked at Daniel, then laughed. One of them mocked his accent. Another imitated the way he walked. One recorded with a phone. "Hey, look, the janitor is working hard tonight." They did not know. Daniel understood every word. Daniel stayed quiet. He lowered his head and continued cleaning, because he had learned something abroad. Responding could cost him his job. Silence was safer. But the mocking did not stop. They blocked his path, spilled trash on the floor, and told him to clean it again. Daniel felt something break inside him. Not anger, not rage, but exhaustion. Years of being ignored, years of being looked down on, years of swallowing pride. He bent down, picked up the trash, and cleaned again. That is when one of them asked, "Why did you even come here? Is this all Filipinos can do?" The question stayed in the air. Daniel paused, then quietly said, "I came here to survive, just like everyone else." They laughed. What they did not know was that someone else was watching. Across the lobby, a woman sat quietly, her phone recording, not for mockery, but for truth. She saw the disrespect. She saw the humiliation. She saw Daniel continue working without raising his voice. After the group left, Daniel stood alone, the building silent again. He leaned on his mop, closed his eyes, and whispered a prayer. "Lord, give me strength." The next day, Daniel returned to work, unaware that his life was already changing. The woman uploaded the video, not with insults, but with one caption: "This man deserves respect." At first, only a few people saw it. Then more, then thousands, then millions. People noticed Daniel's calm, his dignity, his restraint. Comments poured in. "Why are they mocking him? That could be my father, that could be my brother, that could be me." Filipinos around the world shared the video. OFWs, students, parents, workers. The video crossed borders, crossed oceans, crossed languages. And something unexpected happened. People wanted to know his story. Who is he? Where is he from? Why is he working there? Journalists searched, social media searched, the internet searched, until someone found him. Daniel was called into an office. He thought he was in trouble. His hands trembled, but instead he was shown the video. Daniel watched himself being mocked, watched himself stay quiet, watched the comments. Tears filled his eyes. For the first time abroad, he felt seen. The building management apologized. They offered support. They offered protection. But the story did not stop there. A local community invited Daniel to speak. At first, he refused. He said he was just a janitor. They said, "No, you are more than that." Daniel stood on a small stage, nervous hands shaking. He spoke softly. "I am not special. I just needed work. I just wanted to help my family." The room fell silent. People stood and applauded. Someone started a fundraiser. Not for pity, but for opportunity. Support poured in. Enough to help his sister finish school. Enough to ease his parents' worries. But the most powerful moment came weeks later. The same building, the same lobby, but a different night. Daniel walked in wearing the same uniform. People recognized him. Some approached him, thanked him, shook his hand. And then the group of young men returned. This time they were silent. They recognized him too. They stood awkwardly, eyes lowered. One of them stepped forward. "I am sorry." The words were small but heavy. Daniel nodded. Not because he needed the apology, but because he no longer carried the shame. That night, a new video was recorded, not of mockery, but of respect. People standing aside, letting Daniel pass. Clapping softly, the janitor they laughed at had become a symbol, not of weakness, but of dignity. Daniel still worked, still cleaned, still wore the uniform. But something had changed. People no longer saw a janitor. They saw a human being back home in the Philippines. His parents watched the video. His mother cried. His father stood silent, proud. His sister shared the video at school, and for the first time, she said, "That is my brother Daniel." Did not become famous. He did not become rich, but he became something greater, respected. And that is something no one can take away. This story is inspired by true events. Sometimes the world does not change because of power or money or status. Sometimes it changes because one person refuses to lose dignity. If this story moved you, remember, respect costs nothing, but it can change everything before you leave. Remember that stories like this happen every day. Quiet lives, hidden struggles, people the world forgets, until one moment changes everything. Allview Philippines exists to tell these stories. Stories inspired by true events. Stories about Filipinos, about humanity, about dignity, about hope. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe to Allview Philippines. Turn on the notification bell, because we upload new stories like this regularly. By subscribing, you are not just supporting a channel, you are helping these stories reach the world. Thank you for watching, and remember, every person has a story worth telling.